Everyone, welcome back to the channel. So earlier this week we discussed how to use AI agents in a very basic way, made the world's most basic game. The whole point of my channel here is to encourage the everyday person to use AI in their personal lives, empower them to use it a bit more. So today I'm going to show you a rather advanced project I've worked on. So I very much believe that you should be able to own what you buy. If buying isn't owning, then piracy isn't stealing, you know, the whole kind of movement there. So I run my own home server. I collect Blu-rays. I have about 115 discs, and it's quite a project to keep them up. So what I've done is I've used AI to create 2 server applications which bring everything together. So we're on Mac today rather than Windows. And I'm first just going to pull up Mega Ripper. So you can tell I helped build this with the AI because it's spelled wrong at the top, Mega Ruppier. So essentially what this is, so when you go to rip disks, you would use software called MakeMKV. Bear in mind that every disk that I do rip, I keep. This is just for like archival purposes up onto the home server, you know, the legal jargon. Yeah, essentially, so what I've built is a way to rip from multiple drives at the same time with auto detection. So for anyone here who rips disks on their own, they'll kind of understand how much of a time saver this will be. Now, bear in mind, I built this with AI. There is no way I'd be able to come up with all the command line interfaces, the API handles, everything that's inside here. So I'll talk you through kind of how I built this with AI. And this is a huge step up from what we showed earlier this week. So at the top here, this is inside of settings. So this is a native macOS app. This is not a website. This is an application. I do need to get that spelling mistake fixed. So what kind of happens is when you put your disk in, we can click scan titles. That's a little bit slow because macOS likes to sleep USB devices, so I just speed this part up. There you go, and you can see it's already identified free guy. Now there is no actual AI inside the program, it was just built by AI. Everything else is kind of prediction logic. And the kind of point of me showing you what I've built here with AI agents is to kind of empower you to think, if I've built this entire ecosystem around my home server with AI, you can also bring your ideas to life, so you shouldn't be afraid of using AI creatively. For me, I hate paying subscriptions, I hate renting movies, I hate getting license keys to films that they can just take away when they lose their, you know, legal licensing rights. So owning is always going to be better, and now you can own your own applications. So now my disk has finished being scanned by MakeMKV, the command line interface, not the application. Huge shout out to the people behind MKV. I'll leave a link in the description. 100% worth getting. This is a wrapper for MKV, not a replacement. So it's not going to work instead of. Okay, so we can see that its prediction logic is 53% confident that this is the movie title. If you don't know, on a disc it comes with like bonus content, and this identifies it. So you'll see this is bonus feature, deleted scenes, episodes. So when it says episodes, it's probably at 15 minutes, maybe like director's commentaries. It's pulled some trailers and some extra bonus features. You can cycle through them. So the recommended ones will always be deleted scenes in the main feature. It'll also tell you the kind of statistics behind the video. And this is something I'm still working on, where you click the eye and you'll be able to preview the actual video file with VLC. But I think that'll probably just, yeah, so macOS needs full disk access on the app. And I'm running it through Xcode and it's sandboxed, so I can't do that just yet. But I will get that tested. Now this is brilliant. So you can see down here that it's got 12 titles and it says a movie now, and it's pulled the poster in. I've lost my re-identify button, but what there should be here is re-identify, and you can then search the TMDB database and you can select what film it is. Now this is important because when you rip a disk, normally it will just give you the file and it will be like title _001.mkv. Pretty much useless. But what my software does is it will rename it to the movie and add the release year. You can also come into settings then to set the output directory and a custom folder name. So this time, this will be called Free Guy and then 2023. You can also choose the preferred languages that it pulls in from the disk. So I only need English. And there's just loads of settings in here that I've got set up. So I can have multiple drives. I can do continuous ripping mode, auto eject after rip, auto rip after scan. So if you just want to put the disk in, you can just do that and then choose a confidence threshold. So like So I've got my newborn in my arms as I record this. He's just hanging out with me at 1 in the morning. But yeah, so you set a confidence threshold and it'll rip based on that. And then the important part for me is radar and sonar integration. So if you don't know what Radarr is, it's a media management that can rename your files, although my software does that, but also just help you keep track of it, which is incredibly useful for when you're using stuff such as Plex or Jellyfin. So what we can do is automatically import it to Radarr using the API key to root folder paths. And since Radar's normally in Docker, and this would be a local application, you have your remote paths as well. So you can map it to your Docker container and it still works. You get a quality profile as well. So all my discs are Blu-ray. So I have my custom quality profile as 1080p Blu-ray as 8. And Radarr will then go ahead and import that for me properly. Okay, a bit more down is now notifications as well. So I can do push notifications to my server, post-processing. So I can do handbrake and I can give it a preset. Like ffmeg, I can do the encoding to reduce the file size, do the quality. There's loads you can do in here. And the point is I built this fully with AI, and you can do the same if you have an idea, like audio CD, MKV advanced. And then if I just rip select it, it will give me the file. And I've also built a nice history tab so I can keep track of what I've actually ripped, although Radarr and Jellyfin would do the same thing for me. But this is brilliant. This is a huge step up. I can rip multiple disks at the same time, automatically based on confidence thresholds, and identify them in the TMDB for Radarr to import and then send over to Jellyfin. So that way all of my media is streamlined, because before I'd have to rip it and then manually rename the folder and the file, move it into Radar's mapped folder, library import in Radarr to tell Radarr the movie exists, and then it would move it into my Jellyfin folder when it knows what it is. This now automates that whole process for me. So now all I have to do is stick a disk in and done. And I can do 2 at the same time as well. I don't have 2 plugged in right now because my other one is crazy loud and I need to let my newborn sleep. But okay, so this is one of my lighter projects. Now the big one that I am personally a huge fan of is called Fuse Media. So let me bring that one up. That's the command line. Where is the application? Okay, so Fuse Media. So with my home server hosting, I have several services. I have Jellyfin, Audio Bookshelf, Navidrome. I've even got Plex and MB running, Jellyseer, and I want my family to be able to use it, like in my household. So I want my partner to be able to access our shared Blu-ray library. So what I've done is I've built this. So this is called Fuse. This is currently a native Mac and iPhone app, but it does work on Android. And I've built it myself with AI because I cannot be bothered to change internal IP address every 5 seconds to change my services. So inside here, if we go into settings first, so this is quite ugly at the moment. I recently moved from React Native to Swift with AI. So I've been working on it with that today. So inside here, I've got my 2 services I'm testing, so Jellyfin and Navidrome. And I also have a section for Cloudflare access. So all of my services are behind a Cloudflare tunnel, and I can add a Cloudflare access secret and client secret. So then I have Google SSO set up on my Cloudflare. Putting in these values will allow these services to bypass that. So Fuse will work from anywhere via Cloudflare while still being secure. In my opinion, this is brilliant. So on home, so this pulls in information from Jellyfin via API and Navidrome via a username and password, which is just some basic connection. I'll delete the account after. Okay, but this is what it looks like. So the homepage, you have your recently added, the movies, TV shows, and music. So it pulls absolutely everything in for me. If I click after hours, you'll see everything's here. This is all media I own, by the way, as well. Or let's say I want to watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, you get this nice pop-up window and you can hit play and it'll play the movie for you. In audio, this needs fixing, but you can see that albums have a different image size and you can filter music, podcasts and audiobooks, which is all set up with Audio Bookshelf. In video, we've got movies, TV shows and collections. So everything here, again, is nice and filtered. You can click here and it will, there you go, that's even better from here. And then you click play. And then in browse, this is my idea of where all of the media is going to be. So where you can just do like a server-wide search if you like. But my plans for this app is to have everything from Google Drive, SMB, Jellyfin, Plex, local even, just in one place. And I am not paying someone a monthly subscription to download an app that looks like it was made from 2008 on the App Store. I'm just going to do it myself, and you should feel empowered to do the same. See, with AI and tech moving so fast and subscription models evolving and everyone wants their own share of the pie, you have a problem. You can solve it with agentic coding. If you're curious on what agentic coding is, go and check out the video I made earlier this week, just as a basic introduction to it. But all of this, I wrote barely any lines of code. This was all AI essentially, and you can tell because it looks crap at the moment. But it did look a lot better, and I had it working amazing on my iPhone with application icons and everything. But unfortunately, I had the issue with it was in React Native, and some things work better than others. So I thought, might as well just do a native Swift app. So I'm currently in the process of translating it. Just jumping back in here for a minute. So I'm now inside of Xcode, which is where I'm making MegaRipper. And I just want to show that again with GitHub Copilot, similar to what we did last week. I'm going to show you how I actually got to where I did, and we're going to fix an issue now. So from where I've accidentally named it MegaRipper, what I'm going to do is come back into agent mode. If you remember from the last video between agent and plan, I'm going to say, I've noticed that the app is called MegaRipper, and I'm going to just hit send. This is how basic your prompts need to be when working with AI agents. 99% of the time, they're going to figure out what it is you want. You can see it's generating some text. It's going to go scanning. Just to show as well, I'm Claude Opus. Wow, that's a lot of text. So the app let me do a clean build. So it's asking me where is it. So let me open it up. And you know what? I can already see where the issue is. So it's there. So this is me misspelling it, so I will change that. Okay, but what we're going to fix next is a bit of a bigger issue. Okay, so what I've done is I've gone and put another disk in, another Blu-ray drive, and you'll see the other one pops up here. And the issue that I need to fix now is you notice that this one, which we've been testing, says free guy on it. The other one in a second is going to come up and say free guy again. Okay, it's just fixed itself. Brilliant. So sometimes it says the same disk, which are something I was going to fix, but let's do scan all, make sure that works. Looks like it doesn't. So our scan all button's not working. So we found a bug already, and all I can do so I can check it's not actually doing that. There you go. So look, the same free guy here at the top as well. It's not updating. Even if I go home back there, it still says both on free guy. So this label's correct while this is not. And our scan all button. So what I would do in this case, you might hear the Blu-ray drives whipping up behind me now, is I'll just come into Xcode and I'll go, I noticed scan all button doesn't work on the home page. And so all I'm doing is reporting bugs and issues, and the agent is going ahead and fixing that for me. So that is me just describing a bug. Now what this agent will then do is go into the code, check how it's written, maybe run some terminal commands. We're going to see what it does now. And this is how I built this app. I'm going by my day-to-day with, you know, I got to feed a newborn every 2 hours. It shits all the time. I haven't got time to sit here and prowl through this code myself and find out what the issue is. There you go. So it's going through the main tab view to understand how drives navigate the dashboard. It's got the structure. Let's see what it figures out. Just chiming in here quick. So it's actually gone and found the problem. So each dashboard view model creates its own disk monitor. The disk monitor doesn't associate the disk with the correct indexes. When looking for a disk, I've completely missed where that went. Yeah, when looking for a disk with the disk index, it will all just have 0. So essentially it's always going to read the same title. So while I've been sat here just listening to music, thinking about life, it's gone ahead and fixed my app for me. So when I do come to, I had to wipe a drive last week, and it was quite painful because I had the great idea, let's try a macOS server, and I accidentally wiped my mega drive, I call it, and that had all of my Blu-ray movies on. I actually had them all on there. So I've got to re-rip 115 discs, and I'm not doing it as manually as I did before. I will do it properly. Here you go. Just want to run a command. It's going to hit allow all in this session. I'll let it do whatever it needs to. I use AI all the time, and it doesn't normally destroy anything. It's done it once, but you know, I'm fine with that risk. I live life on the edge. There you go. So it's just doing its final verification, making sure the drives are independent now. So it's using my phrasing, although not very good. There you go. So you can see we actually did create a command line interface inside of MegaRipper, so the AI can actually go in and interact with the full application. The really cool thing as well about all of this is I have no idea. I know what it's doing here, but I have no idea how any of this works. Like, all of these Swift files, I don't know what a single thing here does. It done all of this for me. So the whole kind of point of me showing this off today is I want to demonstrate that as someone who likes to own everything, and yeah, you know, if buying isn't owning, piracy isn't stealing, kind of thing. With everything that's being taken from us and locked behind paywalls, subscriptions, I'm sure all of you have felt that, where they're like streaming services of a new cable, where it's all expensive and it's all just a mess. You can make your own solutions at home with AI. You don't need to go through the subscription bullshit. Just make your own solution. If you have an idea, it's using AI isn't destroying your creativity. You're now bringing your ideas to life. I don't know what any of this does. And apparently I created it on the 1st of February 2026, and I don't know if I did. So you should probably check these files before you publish anywhere. But to be transparent and totally honest, there is a lot less of a friction barrier than there was on software development than last year. And I think everyone here, even if you're watching, you don't have to pay for GitHub Copilot. There is a free tier. Have a go at making something you've always wanted to see. If you have an idea, a solution to a problem, even if it's just for you, like this software is just for me. If you have a problem, fix it with agentic coding. I mean, I'm currently on a Mac Mini building software for Macs and iPhones. Like yesterday the last video, we built Windows software, which also would work on Android since we can do React Native as well. So you can build for any platform, make any app for any device with AI. Okay, so while I spend the next 2 hours fixing MegaRipper with Claude Opus, it looks like it's starting to come back to how it was. We just need to get the scanning function work. I'm going to leave this video here. I hope I've kind of inspired you to go out and try agentic coding for yourself and actually, you know, create something that you want to. And it might also be a fun idea that if you do create something, get it onto GitHub and, you know, share a link in the comments if you want other people to try. I'll be more than happy to, and just kind of create some software and have a bit of fun. And let me know what you do create. If I have helped you today, remember to leave a like, subscribe. I try to make AI accessible to everyone, regardless of experience. I'm not going to sit here getting you to make to-do lists and calculators. We're going to solve shit. But anyway, I will see you all later. Goodbye.